Hello, good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy International Women's Day. I am so excited to give you this training all about KPIs. This week, we're going to be a little bit more in the numbers. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Pauline Malabai, and I'm the founder and CEO of Pauline Malabai Consulting. And we are an agency, and we cater and bolster visionaries such as yourself, perhaps, with advisory and coaching and strategy and other implementation support so that you get your time back and you just focus on what you love doing. And I do all sorts of training, from CEO training all the way to things like mindset and operations and business strategy. And today I'm going to do a training on KPI and building a KPI-based growth system. And I know what you're saying. You're thinking, KPIs, what even are those things? So KPIs stand for key performance indicators. And if you care about the long-term health of your business, every business owner with every type of business absolutely must incorporate some sort of KPI. Other coaches might call this metric system. For me, I like to focus on KPIs, or key performance indicators, because some metrics are just vanity metrics. It's actually better to pay attention with those that actually give you valuable data points. And so we love to pay attention, and I love to guide my CEO clients to pay attention to key performance indicators, KPIs. So a KPI system is basically a set of carefully designed activities that are hand-selected as being the most powerful levers for growth in your business that you can commit to every day in a very specific quantity each week to yield a specific outcome. Okay? And the fact that you have this kind of system means that you have the discipline and follow through on your activities and on your business growth. You commit to doing the execution and follow through until completion each and every week. So specific activities equals specific quantifiable amount, okay, that you do it. The bottom line of all of this is that it's a system that allows you to be intentional in your activities. I hope that makes sense. Leave some comments below, #replay if you are watching the replay to this. Let me know if you can see me, what the time is at your end. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I will get back to you and my team. Okay, right, so let's carry on, shall we? If you have no other questions. So I want you to ask yourself right now, what are the top 5 to 10 activities that needs to be happening every day that are going to be the biggest levers of growth in your business? So for me, I go on, do a Facebook Live and an Instagram Live every single day. I've committed to it. That's the main way that I speak with my audience, that new clients, new faces find me. So that's something that I've definitely done every day. Perhaps you take a more passive approach and you just want to do short videos and edit them out. You might be sending out a specific amount of emails. It might be sending text messages if text messaging is your thing. Could be making phone calls, definitely phone calls, even face-to-face meetings back in the days when we were allowed to, and doing phone consultations or maybe drop-ins. So phone consultations or Zoom calls probably is what most people are doing nowadays. Basically, your calendar is a reflection of where your time goes, or it should be anyway, and it creates the exact income that you are experiencing. If you're not committed to doing specific things, chances are you're not going to get any results for things that you want. So your activities is kind of the barometer for success, and it sets the income level that, well, you deserve and will achieve. If you don't do anything to book your calendar with sales calls, then you're probably not going to get the sales calls and you're probably not going to get new clients. Okay, that's how the logic works, as you know. So of course you're here and I'm sure you're committed and you want to change that. So the more and more time that you are dedicated enough and disciplined enough to focus on the big levers of growth in your business, the big rocks for growth that are going to make that impact, and the faster that means that the faster you're going to grow and the less hours you're actually going to need to work. All right. So at the end of the day, the more income and revenue you get, you can afford to hire out those things that you don't enjoy in your business and that takes up a lot of your time. So it's important you actually track every lead and where every sale in your business is coming from every single week. And it's really hard, especially if you're a one person show, that you also have to audit yourself because you need to track everything. But it's important, and the return on investment in this tracking is because you need to know what's not working for you. And obviously you can't track where the results are coming from. How do you know what things to expand on and what things need to be corrected? And that's why being really focused on data and key performance indicators in your business is so important. And that time that you take listing things in a spreadsheet or whatever system you choose to do it is so important, because then you can go back each month with yourself or with your team and be like, okay, we did this many email newsletters, this many people clicked it. Where was which click was the most popular? So, things like that. The number one thing that I always urge my clients is to focus on visibility. You have to be visible with the content that converts in your market. So as a business owner, or if you're a salesperson, you just have to be visible with content that convert in your market. So that's why we recommend that you start with my clients. I always tell them to time block their week, and Monday tends to be the week that they create content. And then immediately they have to make sure they distribute that content. So visibility is paramount, and visibility is not the act of creating the content. You have to get the content out there. You have to get a scheduler or hire it out or do what you got to do to get it out there. And ultimately, that's how people will find you. That's how cold leads will find you. And that's your job then, to move people down the sales funnel to get them prepped and primed and ready to buy your services or your products. Okay, so that's when you need to you need to use the power of human connection to take people from completely cold lead in a big wide world, maybe continents away from you, and get them translated into actual leads and actual prospects on your database. So that means that you have to message these warm leads, you have to follow up with them, and you have to remember which leads are already down the funnel and at what specific point in the funnel they're in. And you can only do that if you have some sort of system. And that's why systems are so important. I hope you're with me so far. Looking for any questions. All right, so messaging with warm leads, you have to follow up with them. You have to DM them on Facebook and Instagram, whatever platform, on LinkedIn. And you have to just show up and be yourself. And that's why video marketing works so well, because right now you're probably getting to know me. And that's how most people find me. They find my trainings and they like what they see. And then they message me and they set up a phone call. So messaging warm leads that you have been following up with is one huge activity that is really key to being a good salesperson and CEO. And you have to engage with those who are directly messaging you, as well as connecting those who are in your Facebook group if you have one, or whatever membership site that you use. And you have to make sure that for those, your dream 100 clients, those top clients that you really want to work with, you actually use social media and comment and engage on their profiles to pull them back to follow you and to kind of show up in their radar. It's really great. I've actually got a client before who became featured in Forbes because she was just cold pitching this PR person and this opportunity came up, which is a really great story. So you never know. I actually managed to get one of the top YouTube financial bloggers in the UK through a DM on Instagram. So make sure that you just shoot your shots out there with your dream clients. The other thing is, as soon as you start getting these clients, maybe it's time, when you realize that maybe organic isn't doing it as quickly for you, time to look at, again, your KPIs and see, okay, which posts are engaging and which, landing pages are converting. Is there a way that we can 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times the system through paid advertising? And that's why it can be really useful to know your data points when you're still doing organic, because it becomes even more important when you start doing paid advertising and you really need to know, what's the cost per click, all this kind of marketing stuff, that you should really hire out a Facebook ad strategist or whatever, an IG ad, an ad strategist of some kind to help you with it. But it helps to have the systems in place so you can compare it with whether it's worth going paid advertising to increase your visibility, scale up your list building, increase how many people are seeing your content that you're creating each week, promote your videos, opt-in offers, promote your group. This is the kind of things that your metric-based system, your KPI-based system will help you understand and save you a lot of money. Honestly, save you a lot of money. All right. So the other things that I have always leveraged from the very beginning of my business is going on other people's platforms and doing joint collaborations on live stream or, whatever other social media. So it's really important that you are always networking. You have to make sure as an online business entrepreneur that, you are getting to know people, because it's not the same thing as having a brick and mortar business. You kind of have to do everything online, okay? So everything kind of lives on social media in our case. So every week, you should be reaching out with new people to introduce them to your brand. You need to ask yourself, how many consultations, discovery calls, chemistry calls, whatever you want to call it, do you need each week to hit the goals that you want to grow, okay? So that's why it's so important, and I've been telling this a lot with a lot of my CEO clients, is that you need to have a database of qualified leads. All of these activities, having a metric KPI-based system will allow you to, or force you to have a system for your sales, which is a database of qualified leads, which is not the same as your email list, okay? Your email lists are not necessarily sales leads. They're cultivated and engaged, and you need to make sure that you're doing that every week with a newsletter or whatever. But then you actually have to invite them to take a next step, which is booking a sales call with you to actually make money from your email list. So make sure, or sell something to them, right? So make sure that you're not confusing those two. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. Let me just go back to see whether any questions. Let me know if there's any questions. Great. Everyone with me so far? Great. So I just want to finish with that because that was a lot of information. And I like to keep these trainings quite short and sweet. But if you don't know what activities you're currently doing in your business and you're not tracking and you're kind of, what I say to my clients, throwing spaghetti at the wall, you're not going to know what's not working for you, and you're not going to know what things you should focus on, and then you just start feeling overwhelmed. But if you know that specific things are really, really effective, you can be rest assured to let go of activities that you know are not going to make you either money or increase your presence or your brand value. So you need to track and make sure that you have a metric-based system. And it's not even, for lack of tech people who are not tech savvy, okay? I understand that everyone comes from a tech background. A simple spreadsheet, pen and paper, your calendar. Have an assistant do this for you. Anything, as long as it's written down and you're tracking, weekly, monthly, however you want to go at it, as long as you are tracking, it doesn't have to be fancy, you can do this, okay? So I hope that you've enjoyed this training. If you think that I can help you get away from the weeds of your business, bring some operations and systems in your business, whatever it is, reach out to me, send me a DM, or join my Facebook group where I give live trainings such as this one. And my head of visibility, who's a great visibility strategist, does that as well. She comes in and does trainings every Wednesday. We have so much more exciting guests coming up. So I would love to invite you as well to join my Facebook group, How She Owns It. I'll comment it below so you can join. Thank you and have a great evening, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.